Top 10 facts about sexuality. Any reasonable person would agree that a great many people have additional free time right now. So a lot more will be adorable. Agonizing over a time of increased birth rates secured up 9 months can be the most ideal approach to manage our new everyday environments. Number 10. Insane sex things from old occasions. Science, as most human culture, appears to have dedicated a considerable measure of time to sex. As it has been appeared over the long run, sex, in general, isn't simply fun, it's beneficial for us. Here are 10 potential reasons why sex might be the most ideal approach to occupy your time. 10. Sex is useful for the resistant framework. Wouldn't it be incredible if there was a simple method to help our insusceptible framework amidst an influenza pestilence? One examination found that sex does precisely that. Antibodies are our bodies that recognize unfamiliar specialists, for example, germs and infections. One of these, immunoglobulin, is found in our salts and mucus films and is a significant method for ensuring against colds and seasonal infections, just as different microbes. It can lessen the danger of explicitly communicated illnesses in individuals who engage in sexual relations. To test this, the volunteers were gotten some information about their sexual history and their vulnerability levels were estimated. The individuals who engaged in sexual relations once 7 days were just somewhat higher, however had levels that were 30% higher than the individuals who had intercourse 2 times per week. Sadly, the individuals who have intercourse at least 3 times each week are at a lower level than the individuals who have engaged in sexual relations, so do whatever it takes not to try too hard. Number 09. Masturbation is useful for the resistant framework in the event that you appear to be stuck alone. No compelling reason to stress, however, science is behind you. Masturbation appears to positively affect the insusceptible framework. In one little investigation, male volunteers were approached to stroke off while drawing their blood. The faculties are not the ideal condition to be available. Notwithstanding, contemplates have demonstrated that both edginess and discharge increment the quantity of white platelets in the blood. White platelets are key components in how the insusceptible framework reacts to microorganisms. Specifically, this exploration uncovered that characteristic leukocytes, NK cells, are initiated. NK cells advise different cells to end it all. This cycle is called apoptosis. On the off chance that a NK cell appends itself to another infection-tainted cell, it is said that the cell must go through apoptosis. This murders both the tainted cell and the infection inside it. So on the off chance that you get an expert sharpshooter, there are 2 motivations to go after the tissue. 2. Number 08. Sex is useful for your heart. In ladies, a huge investigation of individuals in later life uncovered that sex can have a positive well-being impact on more established ladies. The examination found that by far most of grown-ups have fulfilling sex with their accomplice, yet men are accounted for to have more sex than anticipated ladies. Tragically, gloating about these men and their gifts, the examination inferred that the individuals who had intercourse once 7 days were bound to have heart issues than the individuals who engaged in sexual relations. It appeared to be more fitting for more established men to have intercourse 2 times per month. Be that as it may, there was no relationship between extreme sex in more established ladies and a more regrettable repercussion on their heart. Indeed, the individuals who had intercourse all the more regularly and would be wise to quality sex were less inclined to have helpless heart well-being. Number 07. Blocks organ torment. After an arbitrary revelation uncovered that guinea pigs presented to vaginal incitement felt less torment, it was concluded that comparable examination ought to be finished with human ladies. Ladies were welcome to a lab and advised by hand to give themselves self-delight. This packed the fingers of the other hand while proceeding onward. A machine and the subjects needed to state how difficult it was for them to discover the experience. Vaginal incitement multiplied and significantly increased the agony in the guinea pigs. Ensuing work on ladies during labor found that the development of the infant's head into the vagina invigorated the agony-lessening measure. Individuals with tangible disability can hope to lessen torment. These hormones initiate narcotic receptors, equivalent to drugs focused by medications, for example, heroin, that have an agony-stifling impact. Number 06. Science says that 21 is the wizardry number. In men, this is an inquiry that all little fellows pose to themselves, sooner or later: do I stroke off something over the top? The genuine response to this inquiry is most likely not, except if you have a sensitive throat. A great many people build up a solid relationship with their body. At the point when you feel explicitly disappointed, it's ideal to realize that help ought to consistently be given. Yet, science has addressed that a man must stroke off inside a month for the strength of the prostate organ. 32,000 men beyond 18 years old were interrogated regarding their sexual propensities. As in different examinations, it has been discovered that incessant masturbation can lessen the danger of prostate malignant growth. Taking a gander at the information, apparently the ideal recurrence of discharge is multiple times or more every month for men. Discharge eliminates malignant growth-causing synthetic substances from the prostate organ. Masturbation and sex can spare a man's life out of the blue. Number 05 reduces pressure. Endorphins delivered by sex that actuate narcotic receptors lessen torment as well as change our reactions to push. The pressure we feel when we have intercourse is really diminished, as stress can be brought about by changes in our way of life, stress overfunctions. And there might be a few people now who can escape jail pressure. In any case, endorphins are not by any means the only hormones we produce when we engage in sexual relations. Sex discharges oxytocin, which is characterized by some as the adoration hormone. Sex is a decent method to work out. While it may not be the most elevated effect or exhausting activity accessible, well, contingent upon how you do everything, practice is useful for your well-being and delivers more endorphins, that expansion, that temperament. 6. Number 04 It gives a decent night's rest. Stress and nervousness are normal side effects of living through extraordinary functions. Be that as it may, these emotions can make our beds turn over and turn, not positively. A peaceful night will be agreeable for us all. The most ideal approach to accomplish this is to engage in sexual relations. Endorphin sex makes our bodies delivery, and it is a result of loosening up the nervousness that keeps your brain talking for the duration of the night. Oxytocin can prompt a decent night's rest by loosening up your body and advancing an overall feeling of prosperity. It goes about as an antitoxin that encourages you nod off straightforwardly. Studies have indicated that having intercourse before bed prompts an additionally fulfilling night under the plate. It is a settled wonder that men tend to nod off after discharge. Try not to be languid and fall prey to their hormones. Prolactin is the hormone that controls men's recuperation time between the private parts and is delivered at its pinnacle. Studies have indicated that creatures that infuse prolactin get drained right away. Anyway, this is one occasion when not all organs are made equivalent. Masturbation creates less prolactin in men than in full sex. So on the off chance that you need to get a decent night's rest, you need assistance. 7. Number 03 Masturbation causes you. Center consultants who telecommute have frequently found out about huge numbers of the issues they know. Procrastination, delaying, blaming masturbation so as to dawdle, regardless of how sat around idly may appear, regardless of how much fun it is. A lot more presently telecommuting. finding that like never before they have to enjoy a reprieve from their PC. Dawdling can truly be what you have to get your cerebrum into gear. Mental activities and strategies are utilized to actuate your psyche, and certain regions of the cerebrum cause tactile movement all through your most significant organs. Pet suites show neural action in every region after the pinnacle. After sex, the blood used to interface your reproductive organs races to the cerebrum with a great deal of oxygen and charming synthetic substances. Presently the psyche is allowed to draw inward the more significant things through sexual dissatisfaction and the progression of oxygen. Number 02. It helps your relationship. Exploration shows that individuals who have intercourse regularly remain together. For some, sex is a significant piece of their relationship with an accomplice. The more accomplices there are, the more joyful they can be together. This is on the grounds that we come to connect with our accomplices. However, there are passionate advantages that go past organic chemistry. There is a strange proviso that prompts more sexual craving and more sexual longing. This is one motivation behind why sex advisors recommend sex booking for couples battling to start their relationship. When numerous individuals can be secured with an accomplice for longer than they expect, sex can be the holding experience they need to live with. On the off chance that nothing else, it requires some investment. Number 01. It satisfies you. Sex has numerous positive actual impacts. However, maybe the most significant is mental energy. One examination by college understudies took a gander at what easygoing sex does to their psychological well-being. Rather than finding many negative outcomes, they found that straightforward sex of any sort gave understudies an improvement of their feeling of prosperity and confidence. The vast majority don't appear to be embarrassed in the wake of being humiliated. Other examination has attempted to measure the constructive outcomes of sex on us. They appreciate engaging in sexual relations in any event once per week, and the thing that matters is astounding when contrasted with the individuals who have intercourse not exactly once per month. Individuals with less sex were disturbed. At the point when you think about the satisfaction of the individuals who procure $25,000 per year and the joy of the individuals who acquire $75,000. It is not as much as what you can see when contrasting the upper and lower sex gatherings. Having intercourse as little as $50,000 is useful for your joy. The brightness of sex isn't simply at this time. Individuals who have had intercourse over the most recent 48 hours are commonly more joyful. So on the off chance that you need to be upbeat, it might be an ideal opportunity to hit the hay.